Are you fascinated by the secrets of the past and the mysteries that still puzzle us today? Do you love diving into ancient myths, exploring forgotten history, and maybe even getting a little spooked along the way? If you just said yes, then you found your new home. Welcome to the DOUKHA-M Discovery Channel, your ultimate destination for all things history, mythology, mystery, and horror. From the rise and fall of ancient empires to the chilling tales that keep you up at night, we cover it all. We dig deep into the stories you thought you knew and uncover the truths you've never heard. So, if you have a curious mind and a thirst for knowledge, join our community of explorers. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an adventure with us. Let's start discovering together.
Vast, silent, and stretching to the horizon, the Sahara Desert. To us, it might seem like an empty expanse of sand and sun. But for millennia, this was a vibrant, living landscape, home to countless cultures and a pantheon of gods and spirits as vast as the desert itself. These were deities born from the rustle of the wind, the life-giving oases, and the eternal cycle of the sun and stars. Today, their temples are buried, their names whispered only by the wind, and their stories almost lost to time. But they are not gone. They are the forgotten gods of the Sahara, spirits buried in sand. Join me as we journey back in time to unearth the myths, legends, and powerful deities that once ruled this formidable kingdom of sand. Before the Sahara became the arid desert we know today, it was a lush, green savanna. Around 10,000 years ago, this region, known as the Green Sahara, was teeming with life. Rivers flowed, lakes dotted the landscape, and it was home to elephants, giraffes, and crocodiles. And, of course, people. These early inhabitants, a mosaic of different cultures and tribes, looked at the world around them and saw divinity in every corner. Their beliefs were animistic. They saw spirits in the trees, the water, and the animals. They painted and carved their beliefs onto rock walls, creating one of the largest and most impressive collections of prehistoric art in the world. Take a look at these rock paintings from Tassili Najjer in Algeria. They are thousands of years old. You can see scenes of daily life, hunting, herding cattle, and dancing. But among these, you find strange, otherworldly figures. Horned deities, masked shamans, and beings that seem to be part human, part animal. One of the most famous is the horned goddess, sometimes called the White Lady. She's depicted running adorned with horns and decorations, a powerful and enigmatic figure. Was she a goddess of the hunt? A fertility deity? We don't have written records, so her exact identity is a mystery. These early artists didn't leave us a dictionary for their symbols, but they left us a gallery of their spiritual world. They were expressing a deep connection to nature, a belief system where the spiritual and physical worlds were one and the same. As the climate began to change, around 5000 BC, the rains became less frequent. The Green Sahara slowly began its transformation into the desert we see today. The rivers dried up, the lakes evaporated, and the people had to adapt or move. This dramatic environmental shift also transformed their beliefs. The focus of worship shifted. Water, once abundant, became the most precious resource, and the spirits or gods who controlled it became paramount. The sun, once a gentle source of life, became a scorching, relentless force to be both respected and feared. The pantheon of the Sahara was evolving, shaped by the very sands that were swallowing their world. This is where we begin to see the rise of more defined deities, particularly among the ancestors of the Amazigh people, also known as the Berbers, the indigenous inhabitants of North Africa. One of the most significant early deities was a powerful sun god. In ancient Libya, he was known as Ammon. Yes, the very same Ammon who would later become the king of the gods in a place you might have heard of, ancient Egypt. The famous Siwa oasis, deep in what is now the Egyptian Western Desert, was one of the most revered ancient oracles, dedicated to Ammon. It was so influential that even Alexander the Great made a pilgrimage there in 331 BC to have his own divinity confirmed by the oracle. This shows the incredible reach and power of these Saharan gods. Their influence wasn't confined to isolated tribes. It spread across the desert, connecting cultures and even shaping the destiny of empires. But Ammon wasn't alone. The Amazigh pantheon was rich and diverse. They worshipped a war god named Gurzil, often depicted as a bull, symbolizing strength and ferocity. His cult was particularly strong among tribes who fought against the expanding Roman Empire. Then there was Tinhinan, not a goddess in the traditional sense, but a revered ancestral queen and matriarch of the Tuareg people. Her monumental tomb, found in the Algerian Sahara, dates back to the 4th century and is a testament to the power and respect she commanded. To the Tuareg, she is their founding mother, a figure D in legend, a spirit of the desert who guides her people. Her story blurs the line between history and mythology, showing how ancestral reverence was a cornerstone of Saharan spirituality. Let's talk about the spirits of the desert itself, the jinn. Long before they were popularized in stories like 1001 Nights, the jinn were a fundamental part of Saharan belief. They weren't necessarily good or evil, but powerful, unpredictable beings made of smokeless fire. They could inhabit lonely places, rocks, trees, and of course, the vast empty spaces of the desert. Travelers would leave offerings to appease them. A sudden sandstorm, a strange noise in the night, a mirage shimmering on the horizon, these could all be attributed to the jinn. They represented the wild, untamable nature of the Sahara. Living in such an extreme environment, it made sense to personify its dangers and mysteries. Believing in the jinn was a way of understanding and navigating a world of uncertainty. The arrival of new cultures and religions brought another wave of change. The Phoenicians, the Romans, and later the Arabs all brought their own gods and beliefs to North Africa. The Romans, for example, often syncretized local gods with their own. The Libyan Ammon was identified with Jupiter, and other local agricultural or fertility deities were merged with Saturn. This created a fascinating blend of beliefs, where a local might pray at a temple that looked Roman but was dedicated to a spirit with deep Saharan roots. However, the most profound transformation came with the spread of Islam across North Africa starting in the 7th century. The new monotheistic faith gradually replaced the old pantheons. The temples to Ammon and Gurzil fell into disuse, and the worship of the old gods faded away. But did they disappear completely? Not at all. Beliefs are resilient. They don't just vanish. They transform. Many of the old ways were absorbed into the new culture, often becoming part of folk traditions and local customs. The belief in the jinn, for instance, was incorporated into Islamic cosmology, pre-Islamic agricultural rituals tied to the seasons and the spirits of the land. Continued, just with a new layer of meaning. Sacred rocks, springs, and mountains that were once homes to ancient gods became the sites of tombs for holy men, or marabouts, and continued to be places of pilgrimage. The spirits D in sand didn't die, they just put on new masks. They live on in proverbs, in the stories grandparents tell their grandchildren, in the rituals performed to ensure a good harvest or a safe journey. Today, if you travel through the Sahara, you can still feel the presence of this ancient spiritual world. You can see it in the ancient rock art of the Caucasus Mountains in Libya or the Ennedi Plateau in Chad. You can hear it in the music of the Tuareg, which often speaks of the desert's spirits and its timeless mystical quality. And you can sense it in the deep respect that the people of the Sahara still have for the land. They know that the desert is not empty. It is a place of power, a place where the veil between worlds is thin. The forgotten gods of the Sahara may no longer have grand temples, but their essence lingers. They are in the howl of the wind, the cool shade of an oasis, and the silence of a star-filled night. They are a reminder that even when civilizations fall and sands shift, the human need to find meaning and divinity in the world around us is eternal. The gods are not dead, they are simply sleeping, buried in the warm embrace of the Saharan sand. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the past. If you enjoyed unearthing these lost stories, please hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the forgotten corners of our world. Let me know in the comments which of these Saharan deities you found most fascinating. Until next time, stay curious.
Bring me back.
Hundreds of thousands of years ago, according to these ancient texts,